You're live.
Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on Packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_Access. Join alongside Tim in Green Bay. We got Emilio in Tennessee here to talk a little Packers, Browns preview, give you an injury report update. Really excited to jump in and just have a conversation with the chat this evening, as well as we're live on X, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, MySpace.
Nice.
No TikTok yet.
Not yet.
So now we're going to, like I said, we're going to give you the update on the Tucker Kraft injury report, the entire injury report and the Tucker Kraft update, which I feel like is good news. I want to get your all's take on that. We got a new segment we're going to unveil here called the Progress Report. So we're going to basically kind of back up a little bit and go, okay, what does the offense look like from an overall standpoint so far through 2 full weeks? What's the defense look like? Who are the players that are sticking out on each side of the ball? Maybe a couple players that are struggling. Give you a little bit better idea of where the Packers sit right now. So, first of all, let's get that YouTube stuff out of the way. If you would, let's hit like, subscribe. Appreciate y'all making us a part of your evening. If you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, we're not experts here. We're not insiders here at PTA. We're not media members. We're fans just like you, talking Packers on the daily. We're doing pregame shows, postgame shows, watch parties. We do film breakdown, the whole 9 yards. So if you're looking for daily Packers content, make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you click that bell icon so you're notified every time we do go live. Boys, y'all got anything on the forefront of your mind before we dive into what we're going to cover here tonight? Anything at all?
What has been your best bowling score ever, Clayton?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you, Emilio.
Michael Parsons. Let me hear yours.
I've probably been bowling 3 times in my life. I felt like people were impressed with me, and I was like, I don't understand why that's impressive, but okay. I have no idea, anything about the rules. It's just I'm gonna try to knock them white pins down.
I love it. So, Tim, you got a number?
289, brother.
Hoo-wee. Wow. Okay.
Who do you think you are?
I didn't know. I was gonna say I thought Micah played well, but we got a stellar one here with Tim. Micah on the second game, he said he bowled a 258 in his interview.
That's pretty good.
I feel like it's just one of those guys that is just an athlete in absolutely every single sport. You could put a hockey stick in his hand, he'd be like, all right, that's fine. I'll go put 3 up. I'll go get a hat trick or something,
Tim, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't you come from a long line of ass whoopers when it comes to bowling, though? Am I thinking right?
Pretty good lineage, starting with my dad. I'd have to ask him. I'm not sure if my grandfather bowled, but I know my dad did semi-professionally for a while. So
nice.
And I'm from Milwaukee, man. I mean, we've got the oldest sanctioned bowling lanes in the world in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, too. So yeah, it's in my blood a little bit. But I'm rusty. That 289 was that was many moons ago, boys. I'd be embarrassed to try it again.
You still got it. I
bet Grandpops was bowling with the women, though, setting them up, knocking them down. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
OG there. So, all right, good stuff, man. Any other bowling talk? Anything else?
No.
I'm trying to think of any other, I don't want to say odd sport, but maybe not so popular sport that's you don't see regularly on TV. Mm-hmm. That people like. It seems like ping pong's pretty big, right? Do you guys play ping pong a lot or no?
Never good at it.
It's called table tennis, okay, Clayton?
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
I used a ping pong table, Clayton, very often when I was in college, but I did not play ping pong on it.
I imagine you did, yeah.
Okay.
Ping pong, not beer pong, right? Is that okay.
We threw a lot of darts and after school playing pool at the local bars. The school bus used to drop me off at the local bar where Dad be hanging out, and I'd go in there, knock on the back door. They'd pull the little they'd have to look. I'd be like, down here. Okay, that's bad. And we go in every time, man. I'll never forget. I throw my book bag down. Dad had to help me up on the bar stool. People were going, oh my God, I'm reporting your family. Don't even bother. Okay, it doesn't work. But set me up on the bar stool and get a pickled sausage, some saltine crackers, and an ice cold Coca-Cola, and watch him just run the table on people playing pool. It was
Money.
the best life, man. The best life. So anyway, let's talk some football. So obviously we got the injury reports out. Let's start with the Tucker Kraft update here. I feel like it's good news. I'm going to get your all's take on it here. Rob Demovsky had tweeted out Tucker Kraft knee was doing rehab work off to the side during the stretch portion of practice. He has a sleeve on his right leg, but seemed to be moving well. Other than Jaden Reed, who will be placed on IR, eventually everyone else was a go for practice. All right. So, again, to me, it sounds like there was no limitations in terms of how he was moving, the mobility. Have we got any kind of specific update in terms of what the injury exactly is? Has anybody heard anything on that other than it's just tweaked the knee is what I've heard?
That's all I've heard, and that apparently the tests and everything were good news. Nothing major. I haven't heard anything more specific.
Yeah. No, and Matt said all Matt said in his interview was he got hurt practicing because he got hurt in practice practicing. So that's just about as mad of an answer as you can get, and he has up until game time to decide. So we're hanging out right there.
Well, Matt Schneidman said no filming rehabbing players, but we saw Tucker Kraft doing the following with the sleeve on his right leg. Resistance band around the legs. Jacob said, I do that at work every night. Pulling weighted sled by strap around the waist. So obviously some extra resistance there, right? Pulling the sled. High knee jogging. Lateral chopping of feet and slides. Am I allowed to say that? Are y'all seeing that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, say it.
We all know what that is.
Go ahead, Emilio. Say it.
What, lateral chopping of feet?
No, the next one.
Oh, yeah. Suck it. Crotch chop handshake with Bo Mountain.
There you go. All right.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
Matt Schneidman might be the best Packers reporter there is, man. He's just so chill. He's so laid back. So obviously they're throwing the old DX signs out there on the practice field. Anybody who grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, Tim, I remember when that burst on the scene, buddy. The poor teachers at our middle school and our high school, they didn't know how to react, man, watching everybody.
Neither did the officials in our sports games either, right? That became a pretty popular thing. They didn't know how to deal with it. Now it's fully mainstream, so it's all good, right?
Are you kidding me? That's as PG as it gets nowadays with these kids, for sure. So, all right. So, to me, how do y'all take those reports, guys? To me, it's good news, right? I mean, it sounds like there's no limitations other than them holding him out of practice. Like I didn't hear him say, "Hey, look, he was jogging kind of gingerly on it. He was going half speed." That top, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Am I reading it the same way you are?
I am. I'm looking at it that way. If anything, I'm kind of keeping my eye on, roster moves. Is there going to be somebody called up or anything like that? Or is this just going to be a scenario where we'll see Tucker out there with the headphones on pregame on Sunday, doing a little field test, little moving, and maybe they make that decision right before game time, So I think it's good news so far.
Yeah. I would think that too, Tim. Honestly, if you're pulling a weight around with the strap, I think you're good. He probably landed on it funny or landed wrong and it buckled, or he probably hyperextended it or something along those lines, and it just didn't feel right, and he went down and you had to address it. But yeah, if he's kind of doing that stuff, I'm not too worried about it. What I think might happen, maybe you don't activate Micah Robinson this game and you do activate Ben Sims because he's been a healthy scratch past 2 games. So you could activate him, go 4 tight ends, and just be able to rotate him out if Tucker's not able to go, but maybe still dress him and be good.
Absolutely. Right. Give you an extra guy special teams wise too.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely. Corey Murphy in the chat says, sounds hopeful. Just hope he's not more prone to injure it worse. And I completely agree, Corey, without us knowing any specifics of what the actual, injury was other than a tweaked knee. I can't imagine they would have him out there doing all that if they were worried about him, something else resurfacing there. So completely agree with that, man, for sure. All right, moving along. Of course they're going to do this to me.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was going to be Mandy or not.
No, it's Brand, evidently. So they let the cat out of the bag. Let's just move it along until it becomes a thing, I guess. But let's see here. So here is the injury report. Not sure why it's popping up like that. Let me see if I can fix that for you. guys and gals, maybe not. Nah. All right, that's about as close as we can get it. Let's throw it up on the screen. Actually, if we close that, maybe. All right, here we go. That's a little bit better. So here's the entire injury report. And thank you, Bran. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Just so she knows anyway. She came home with a huge ice cream cake. Reese's
Nice.
ice cream cake, bro.
I love ice cream cake.
Who
Triple
doesn't
chin.
love ice cream cake? Come on now.
Yeah, the triple chin's coming back, boys. I'm telling you, I'm working on it right now. We're gonna have more chins than a Chinese phone book.
Love it.
All right, so the Packers injury report: Zane Anderson with the knee, full participation. We're good to go there. Aaron Banks limited Wednesday and Thursday, back to full participation today. That sounds like great news. Obviously, we talked about this earlier in the week. It sounded like Aaron Banks was not going to be denied. He was going to come out and play this Sunday against the Browns. Obviously, no chance of re-injuring anything there. It doesn't sound like. Nate Hobbs limited. Wednesday, Thursday, kind of ramped him up. Today, full participation with the knee. I think we're going to see
BTA. Know what I'm saying?
I think we're going to see a healthier version of Nate Hobbs this week. Tim, what do you think, man? Because listen, I didn't really see a limitation last week, but you know how it is, man. You get back in there, first regular season game, action in the NFL. It's obviously going to be a little bit different than your second or third.
We talked about that. He looked good, looked solid. He just looked a little. I don't want to say unsure of himself, but just getting his feet under him again out there playing full game speed. I mean, that's tough to do. You missed a lot of camp. We basically got no preseason, and then it's just bam, here you are. I thought he played pretty well last week, but I'm with you, Clay. I think Sunday's going to be a good dose of what Nate Hobbs has to offer in this secondary. I think we'll see him at as close to full strength as he is right now for sure.
Right.
Yeah. My plan for Micah not dressing Banks very highly on Nate Hobbs playing. So, yeah, I'm hoping that he comes back and goes be able to go full tilt, feels comfortable enough with it. Glad we let him sit out that. We just didn't have to push him too much, and it's been nice not having to do that. But, hey, if we have an extra injury on the offense, we got to kind of flip the script, use up another spot for the offensive guys. If our D's ready to step up, let's get him out there and let's play.
Yep.
Definitely. All right, Josh Jacobs limited all week. We know he's good to go. Tucker Kraft with the knee, not listed on Wednesday, hurts the knee on Thursday, right? And then today's officially listed as did not participate. His game status is questionable. We covered that pretty extensively. 50-50 shot of him playing. If it were me, if I were in charge, I'd say let's sit him this week. Just there's no reason to try to march him out there, Is he a difference maker? Absolutely. We'll be talking about him with the progress report here in a second. But I think I just don't think it's worth it. If you're not if he's 95% healthy, then I'd treat him like he's 100 or 0% healthy and just sit him out this week.
Yeah.
That's the way I would approach that. So Jordan Love with the thumb, full participation all week, good to go. Bo Melton limited with the shoulder, then full participation. So it sounds like Bo Melton probably going to be active, right, for his first game. Because you guys correct me if I'm wrong, he hasn't played in the regular season yet, right?
I thought he played week 1.
Did he play week 1?
Yeah, I think that's when he hurt.
He hurt it week 1.
Yeah.
Might have happened kind of early or something is why he didn't have many snaps. Got it. And then Jaden Reed, of course, is out. He should be going on IR any day now, I would imagine. And then Zach Tom was limited all week long. He's listed as questionable, just like Tucker. Don't risk it. Don't risk, re-aggravating or further hurting that oblique, obviously, right? So moving along to the Browns here. Joe Bitonio, there was rumors he was going to be listed as out, right? Well, he's officially listed as questionable. He did not participate all week long. That questionable, I think they did they do away with the probable and the doubtful, and now it's just questionable? I want to say I heard somebody talking about that on another team's podcast, that the NFL decided to do away with that stuff. You notice you don't see probable or the.
I think it's doubtful or questionable now. I think that's
what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Got it. So maybe they did away with probable then. But nonetheless, so Joe Bitonio, I think he's closer to not playing than playing, me personally. We'll see. But Borquez is good to go. DeAndre Carter, wide receiver with the concussion, is listed as questionable. Did not participate Wednesday, was limited the rest of the week. Malik Collins, full participation. He's good to go. Jack Conklin, tackle, listed as questionable. Grant Delpit was good to go, full participation. Mike Hall Jr. officially listed as out. He was limited with the knee on Wednesday, did not participate Thursday and Friday, so he's officially out. So they're going to be a little bit weaker there at defensive tackle. We know their defense is definitely the strong point of their team. Tevin Jenkins, full participation. Andre Smith Smith, is how you say it? Okay. So that's their kicker, right? He's listed as questionable. Do they got a kicker on the practice squad? Maybe anybody know?
I don't know actually,
That's
but
very
that's I was
left calf injury too. Interesting on a kicker. I wonder if if he's right foot or left foot. Is that his plant leg or kicking leg? That could be interesting.
Yeah. Then we got Denzel Ward, cornerback. He was full participation. So there you go. That's,
ready to get cooked by MG, baby.
No excuses, baby. It's the Matthew
Seriously.
Golden week. I'm hoping so, right? So we did have a comment in here, and I'm sorry, I got to go ahead and get the screen grab. Was Yuki 1998? Never seen them in here. I'm imagining it's a Browns fan. They said really simply, the Browns will win on Sunday. So let's just go ahead and say that. We'll add them to the graveyard that is. Let's see.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
Oh, looks like we deleted them, didn't we? We deleted the screen grabs. That's all right, though. Who is it? Rock.
Oh, that
right?
might have been me.
Yeah. Crack Rock Howard was the one that was.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
I got rid of them. That was on me.
Yeah. So now we got this one. So Yuki, this is how we play this game, man. Listen, the Browns may win this game. You know, there's any given Sunday, anything can happen. However, when you come in here and make a statement like that,
be prepared.
We will be here for the post-game show live. Win, lose, or draw. Packers lose by 40, we'll be doing a live post-game show. And we'll be in here to say, hey, you said so. But I bet you ain't got enough hair on your ass to show up in post-game show if Packers win. So just know, we will be here looking for you, sir or ma'am, whichever it is. So right there.
Get ready to go.
And when you do roll in here, don't be surprised if this is the look we got on our face. All right. You know what I'm saying? Right here. So, all right. Moving along to the progress report. Anything else y'all want to add on the injury report there? Anything at all, boys? Anything at all?
No, not too upset about it, but you know, you'll have it early in the season. Got to protect the guys from themselves. It's going to be a long season, and you're coming into a bye week, so let's take it easy.
All right. Let's get into it, boys. So this is just another thing we're doing along with the game plan. I'm going to try to do this about every 2 to 3 games of the season and just throw out a little progress report and just talk about, hey, where are the Packers ranking overall, offensively and defensively, and which players are really sticking out, okay? So as of week 2 of the NFL season, the Packers are 2-0 following victories over the Lions and the Commanders. Team's strong starts has been powered by several key players on both offense and defense. Quarterback Jordan Love and tight end Tucker Kraft have been standout offensive players, while new defensive acquisition Micah Parsons and edge rusher Rashawn Gary have led a formidable defense. So let's jump into the offensive side of the ball here real quick, okay? The Packers are currently 4th in the league in scoring, okay? So they are averaging, in terms of points per play, 0.491. That's 4th best. So leading the way is Baltimore at 0.786, Detroit at 0.528, Buffalo 0.495, and then the Packers are coming in 4th place at 0.491 points per play, followed by Danny Dimes and those Indianapolis Colts. Pittsburgh Steelers, by the way, isn't it wild? People were saying that would be a bad pickup to sign Aaron Rodgers, and their offense is kind of carrying the water right now. Their defense has been horrible. Absolutely horrible after paying TJ Watt.
Can you imagine that we'd even be saying that about a Pittsburgh Steeler defense?
Yeah, it's wild, man. And you know what the big weakness is, Tim? That all the sack lovers out. Boy, it always sounds bad. The people that love the quarterback sack stat, they rarely mention the teams that have a lot of sacks. Sometimes their run defense is bad. They said that Pittsburgh's run defense has been horrible, from what I understand. That and they can't get a running game going as well, so it's kind of on Aaron's shoulders, sounds like. So, yeah, I'm with you, Tim. It's odd, isn't it, man, to see a Pittsburgh team struggling on defense but doing so well on offense.
Yeah, for sure. Makes me more excited for October 26th, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. The other thing I want to point out here too, guys, is, you know, we kind of blanked Detroit pretty well on defense, right? And they've still got the 2nd best scoring offense in the league through 2 weeks. So it just shows you how strong Emilio, remember, you go out and you beat the brakes off of the Detroit Lions. It was the score made it look a little closer than it actually was. And you come out there going, wow, Detroit, maybe they took a step back, right? And then you find out in week 2 when they go out there and put up, what was it, 50 burger on the Bears?
Yeah.
Then you realize real quick, no, the Packers defense probably just legit, you know?
Yeah, I honestly thought you were going just the Bears are just that brutal. But I thought you were going to lead it. It was kind of like, I mean, it was like they were playing an FCS team. You know, they were playing the FCS Southeast or something, and it was just one of those the warm-up games of the season. But, yeah, I mean, the fact that we held them to that and they still passed us, the Bears need to work on that one, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. All right, moving along here. Let's talk about the players that are sticking out for the Packers offense currently. All right, Jordan Love, week 1 threw 2 touchdown passes with a 128.6 passer rating in the 27-13 victory over the Lions. Week 2 completed 19 of 31 passes for 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 113.9 passer rating against the Commanders. Overall, totaled 480 passing yards and 4 touchdowns with no interceptions through the first 2 games. And you see here from NFL Pro, I wanted to point this out real quick. EPA per dropback, one of the advanced metrics, right? Justin Herbert leads the league at a 0.37 EPA per dropback. Lamar Jackson, 0.35. Daniel Jones, 0.35. Jared Goff, 0.31. And then our very own Jordan Love tied with Jared Goff. So actually tied for 4th in EPA per dropback. Now, another stat I want you to check out here is average yards per attempt, right? 12.5 for Jordan. That's higher than anyone else on this entire top 13 list in terms of EPA per dropback. Our boy is dropping bombs deep, is what's going on there. You're talking about someone who's pushing the ball down the field and being more aggressive. I want to tip my cap to Dan Orlovsky, who said that he kind of felt like with the Packers amping up their defense, they would be a little more aggressive going down the field. And you've seen the Malik Heath throw on the sideline. You see some of these other deep shot plays. What were they, from their own 8-yard line? Loaded up on the first down and almost hit Matthew Golden for a 92-yarder, right? So
credit Matt LaFleur for letting Jordan go ahead and take those shots, right? And then scheming guys open. We've seen it on tape, man. Jordan's getting through the progression. He's sometimes, got decision paralysis because there's so many guys open, and Jordan wants to take that kill shot all the time. So you got to love it. It's nice to see him up here tied for 4th.
Yeah. And when you look in terms of deep percentage there, Emilio, 18.9%, that looks like that's second to only Lamar Jackson at 20.
Exactly where I was going next, Clay, because you have to be able to push it downfield. Yeah, you're hoping that you're going to get those completions, but you can't be willing to not throw it down there, right? You had a look there. Even that other one to Matthew Golden where it was short on the when he was in the end zone. I mean, that was a deep ball. He pushed it there. That could have been 6. That would have been right into that percentage. So you got to look for it, and you got to be able to take it. When I went back and watched it, I mean, he did have the check down. The dude sitting in the flat on the right was wide open when he threw that one to Matthew Golden. 4th and 3, though, take your chance if that's it. I mean, that crowd is running, and it's game time.
Yeah. Corey Murphy in the chat here, Emilio, said, I saw Jordan got a stat bump in Madden for performance. So you love to see that, don't you?
Love it. Yeah. I mean, hey, we only have 198 finally with Micah, and then, I think we got on to 93 with X. So we need to get Jordan climbing into those 90s there. Absolutely.
Yeah, and listen, we need to get on EA's ass about that speed rating for Matthew Golden, a 91.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's crazy, bro.
First this crap, and then a 91 speed rating. Oh,
thank you.
What are you basing that off of? You know what I mean? Like he had the fastest 40 at the combine, right, amongst all the receivers. 4.2 40. Well, Christian Watson. What was Christian Watson? He ran a 4.3, right?
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
I think they gave him 96.
Yeah, he ran a 4.3 and he's got 96. Matthew Golden runs a 4.2 and he gets a 91.
Yeah, it should be like Wiggins. Yeah, it should be like Nate Wiggins' speed or something like that if you're trying to compare it. But once he burns him over the top, we better get a quick adjustment from EA. We get one deep ball touchdown, it's over.
Doesn't make any sense, man. You fall in the well, your eyes go across, you get kicked by a mule, they go back straight. I don't know, right?
I got a wide receiver with 99 speed in college football in my dynasty, Clay, and he just won the Heisman. It's deep all over the top every time, man.
You ain't cheesing that at all, are you?
Cheesing it. 27 touchdowns. Come on now.
All right. People are going, why am I watching this show? I have no idea. No idea. Up next, Tucker Kraft. Week 1, he caught a 15-yard touchdown pass to give the Packers an early 10-0 lead over the Lions. Week 2, had a career night, leading the team with 6 catches, 124 yards, and a touchdown in the win against Washington. Overall, was the 3rd highest-graded tight end in the NFL after 2 weeks, according to Pro Football Focus. When you look at the advanced metrics here, Tim, receiving EPA, he leads all tight ends in the league right now at a plus 11.3. Tucker Kraft off to an awesome start. It sucks that he's a little bit deeper with injuries. But again, if he only misses one game and picks up right where he left off, we're in good shape. If we get here on Sunday and 1 o'clock kickoff and he's active and he goes out there after being limited this week with the knee injury, Tim, in practice, and he goes out and has a similar game, 70, 80 yards receiving, a touchdown or two, look out, man. You might be looking at Tucker Kraft's first All-Pro year.
Exactly. And that's kind of the reason why, as much as you like to hold them out, you almost don't want to sit the hot hand, right? I mean, the guys came out the gate pretty strong this year. And I think you're right. All pro season is not unrealistic at the rate he's going now. However, you can't do that if you're on IR. So it's a delicate balance. And we know Tucker's a tough guy. He's not going to make excuses about why he can't go. But I still feel like we can still be deadly with this passing attack, even if Tuck's got to sit one out. But I'd hate to break that momentum, man, because he's playing damn good football right now.
Yeah, as Tom, he's told me 1,000 times. I apologize. We're gonna say B Timmy 10, all right? B Timmy 10 said Luke Musgrave breakout game. I love what Brambo says. Your free baby giraffe. How awesome would it be though if you said, all right, Tucker, man, let's just rest the knee, and then you come out and Luke Musgrave end up with 100 yards receiving and a touchdown or two? That would be freaking unbelievable.
Yeah. A breakout game. I mean, he's been here since Tuck has, right? When are we going to get a super big breakout game from Musgrave? Could be here. And, it's if not, he's going to be used very well in pushing off coverage and running them out, being able to hit crossers. But again, Jordan's wanting to force it deep. That screams, somebody that can be a vertical threat, and a big tight end like Musgrave is a dude.
Yeah. And it is B Timmy. I apologize, buddy. Thank you for the credit. Yeah, 2-0 for this. That's Timmer. Let's see here. And somebody else says something about Debfish says we have a good tight end bench. I agree, man. I feel good about Fitzpatrick, Yep. And if Sims has to be activated for this game, I feel good about him too, man.
Yep.
One of those things that I think we were all kind of surprised that Fitzpatrick leapfrogged Sims on the depth chart last year in the playoff game. But obviously the coaching staff see if Fitzpatrick in the coach's eyes is better than Sims, we're in good shape, like Debfish is saying. So, all right, moving along to Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs having a little bit rougher of a season. Let's just dive into it a little bit and talk about why he might be struggling to touch. He rushed for a touchdown against the Lions, which obviously that extended his touchdown streak to the franchise record 9 consecutive games. Week 2, he scored another touchdown and has accumulated 150 yards and 2 scores over the first 2 games. So obviously the yards per carry is what we're talking about. That may come across like a struggle, as he is averaging, yards per carry, 3.6. But the stat I want to point out to you guys is obviously with the stacked box, if you sorted by that, they're stacking the box 11th most in the league with him at 28.6% of the time. That means, Tim, they've got 8 defenders in the box against Josh Jacobs. So, and the other thing is we've noticed as well, we're coming out and passing on first down a lot, right? You see Matt LaFleur kind of going into that a little bit, and we're playing more 13 and 12 personnel. 12 personnel, I think we're 5th most in the league. And what happens with 12 personnel, guys, when the defense sees that, and the position coaches, the personnel coaches that are responsible on the sideline for sending in, whether it's Zebra, whatever their code name is for whatever package they're sending in, Cheetah, like when we throw our Cheetah package in. If they read 12 or 13, they're sending out their base defense. That's going to be a heavier, more solid run defensive box, as opposed to if you're running at 11. So like we had talked about earlier in the week here, Emilio, if you come out in 11 personnel more, I think you're going to see Josh Jacobs's yards per carry go up a little bit. But obviously Matt LaFleur's putting that 12 and 13 on tape for a reason.
Right. Yeah. Because I think maybe he likes what he gets the defense into against a good defense like the Browns. Maybe you want to be able to shrink that playbook like we were talking about, so you get him into 13. But for even Josh Jacobs having it, he's at almost 43% success rate. Yes. So that's not bad. I mean, he's only at 3.6 yards a carry. He's on the higher side of carries, looks like, for most of the backs. They're being at 42, but he's not failing at it, right? He's almost at 4 yards a clip. You can get first downs at 3.5 yards a carry. So I'm totally fine with that. It's still early in the season. We're still figuring out the blocking up front. and we just kind of need to, hammer home, drive, all that stuff, figure out if we want to run a little bit more pin and pull or traps or, just different ideas to get them there. But inside the 10, I'm not worried. You hand it to 8, we'll get 6.
Yeah, and it looks like here, Tim, that his success rate, it would actually be 6th on this list. So he's, if you're going off simply success percentage there, Josh Jacobs is right there around the top 5 anyway.
Yep. And that's what we talked about these past couple of days, right? I mean, you can have an effective run game. I mean, we look at scored another touchdown week 2, has accumulated 150 yards and 2 scores. Yeah, we'd love to see that on one afternoon, right? $150 and 2 tutters. We've seen those kind of numbers from Josh before, but I think at this point it's the little things. It's moving the sticks for us. It's being reliable in the red zone. I mean, like Emilio just said, man, it's true. It's almost automatic inside the 5 or 3 yard line range down there. And then of course figuring out the blocking schemes, and we've kind of had a little bit of musical chairs on that O-line. And, we got to give Josh Jacobs credit. He's, picked up a lot of rushers. He's chipped a linebacker. He's chipped a blitzing safety before, giving Jordan Love time to get the ball off. All the intangible things that help your team win ball games that have a lot more to do with than just running with the football. So I think we just got to be a little patient. I'm sure Josh Jacobs will really get it going on the ground at some point.
Yeah. Wide receiver Romeo Doubs had 2 receptions for 68 yards against Detroit. Week 2, he caught a 5-yard touchdown pass from Love to open the scoring against the Commanders here. Average yards per target, Romeo Doubs 4th in the league at 18.5 yards per target. And then Dontavion Wicks tied with him at 18.5. So Tay Wicks having a solid start to the season here. Look at the receiving EPA. Plus 3.8 for Romeo Doubs. On this list here, it looks like that would put him in the top 5. And then, of course, Dontavion Wicks, a plus 6.7. If you were to sort by that, which we can't do because it's just a screen grab, it looks like he would probably be 4th on this list if I'm looking at it correctly, 4th or 5th. So Tay Wicks might be having a breakout season here, Emilio. Might be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tay Wicks there with no yards after catch either. So, I mean, those are routes, and they're ending when his hands hit the ball. Like running those out routes, having wherewithal to get your feet down, catch the ball. His hands are coming back. I mean, maybe he had a little down year last year, whatever. Like you got to move past that, turn it up. It's a new year. One day at a time. You can't be worried about the past, and he's doing it. And the fact that Jordan Love can count on him to be there. We can use him as a flyer. We can use him, put him in motion to get a matchup you're looking for, outside leverage, whatever. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, and Tim, when you look at this, his catch rate over expected last year, you'll remember Dontavion Wicks was horrible in that regard, right, with the drops. This year, he's off to a plus 20.6%. That would be 4th best on this list. So
not shocked at all. Not shocked at all based on what I've seen. I mean, I'm no expert, but you can tell the guy's committed to the doing the little things to work on the catch radius, for one thing, I think has improved for him. A lot of those drops he had last year were balls that he probably should have caught, but may or may not have been right on the money, and that's how football is, man. Every pass is not going to be perfect. So you see him get a ball in his area, you want to see him secure the catch. And I think thus far this year we've seen it, and we saw it really throughout, training camp when he was available and what I did get to see him do. So I think he spent some time on that jugs machine there in the offseason for sure.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it, man. All right. So there is your offensive update. If you're watching this video back later on tonight, let us know in the comments what you think. Is there a player we maybe missed on offense, right? Is there someone on offense that's like, hey, I really feel like they're having a standout season so far here through 2 weeks? Or maybe you disagree on one of these. Let us know in the comments. And make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live. All right, let's move along.
Pretty cool how he was spreading out the target percentage, both of them sitting in like the mid-20s with Malik Neighbors being 30%. So like Jordan Love's able to dish it out to everybody and not get, too heavy on one or the other.
It's huge. That way defenses can't key in on one guy. It's absolutely huge for sure. All right, moving along to defense. Defense points per play. Green Bay is 2nd in the league right now, only behind the Rams. The Rams are at a positive 0.231. The Packers are at a positive 0.2 238. Then Arizona 240. You got the Chargers 244. You've got the Seattle Seahawks at a 260, Houston at a 264, and then Washington at a 264, which I think is pretty cool. That we kind of manhandle Washington. And honestly, guys, their defense points per play been pretty solid so far. But Green Bay coming in at the number 2 spot here. And again, this is the metric I feel like is most important in determining how good a defense is. Points per play allowed, breaks it down to an efficiency standard, remove all the noise. This is how many points teams score on you per play that they run. So you can try to limit possession and everything, but when it all boils down to is how efficient are these offenses against your defense. I think Green Bay being second, man, we're officially a top 3 defense. Only 2 weeks in, but we're a top 3 defense.
Yeah, I'm glad Jacob didn't make the bet this year because, man, he would be screwed because this defense is looking crazy. And the fact that they're able to, have that and still give up a touchdown late in the fourth, still give up a little bit here and there. Imagine if you just took maybe the first half. I'd love to see, if you could just get defensive points for playing the first half, I bet we are crazy. And it's credit to Hafley, credit to everybody in there, they're able to talk through it. They know where they need to be. Coverages, second year of the system. I think everything's sort of fallen into place. He trusts them, and that's what it's all about. He can't be out there. You have to have faith in your players.
Yep. And I think with those late tutters, like you were saying, Clay, when you're playing with a lead, the clock becomes your opponent as you, get in those later stages of a ball game. And I think this Packers team is, let's be honest. I mean, they're kind of getting this kind of new ground, new territory, playing with a lead, protecting a lead rather than trying to, come back or, stay into a close dogfight and squeak out with a win. I think this defense is smothering, and that's what you want that's what a championship defense looks like, just absolutely smothering. And, you shut a team down, for 3.5 quarters of a football game. I don't think we should be too upset about a late score that doesn't mean anything except taking some time off the clock for us to go out there and take a couple knees and bring the dub home,
Right. Exactly. Brief here said, I'm patient, but I want more turnovers. Me too, man. But I know Hafley was talking about it in the presser. He's like, it's not for a lack of trying. They are punching at it. They're swiping at it. They're pulling at it. It's just, they will come, right? It's not, you can't force that. It just happens organically.
It's every play they're doing it too. So it's they're bound to punch one of those out.
Especially the way they're swarming, Tim. There's like 5 hats to a player every time.
Absolutely. I love it, especially when the guy's still up. If his forward progress isn't stopped, you got him wrapped up. He's not going on the ground. It's always cool to see your teammates flying in there, punching at that football.
First guy standing up, everybody else swinging.
Yep.
When that weather starts to turn a little bit too, that ball gets a little bit slicker, right? When it starts getting cold, I think you're going to see the turnovers start to amp up a little bit more as well. Let's talk about defensive end right now, and defensive line in general, right? Micah Parsons obviously been the darling of the Green Bay Packers so far this early season. Week 1, he made his debut as a Packer after being traded from the Cowboys, recorded a sack against the Lions. Week 2, produced 8 quarterback pressures and a half sack against the Commanders, drawing multiple double teams. Overall, has been a game changer and has an elite pass rushing grade through 2 weeks, according to PFF. Rashawn Gary, week 1, had a sack against the Lions and has continued a strong start to the season. Overall, the 2024 Pro Bowler accumulated 2.5 sacks and 10 tackles over the first 2 games. So obviously those are your 2 key edge defenders. You love seeing them line up opposite of each other. I really like the idea of Wyatt. What you want is a combination of 2 of these 3 players on the field at the same time. You want either Wyatt and Gary on the field. You want either Parsons and Wyatt on the field. You want either Gary and Parsons on the field. If you got Wyatt off the field, you want to make sure 2 of those 3 are always on the field at the same time, because if you've got them lined up both in a wide 9 or a 7, whatever it is, opposite side, they've got to choose which one to double team. You've seen them chipping Gary a lot last game, and he got a sack off a chip. They had the tight end chip. He still got to the quarterback. And then, of course, you got Devontae Wyatt in the 3 tech with Gary in the 9 on another snap. And then you break out your cheetah package with our boy Lucas Van Ness as well. It's exciting to watch these defensive ends go to work. And what's really cool is you don't feel like any of them are getting overworked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's a good, healthy rotation. That's what you look for.
And we've seen those opportunities too when you get, guys like, Enigbare in your rotation, and you still got one or two of these pieces out there. You're starting to see opportunities too for some of these, supporting cast guys on the depth chart. And it's true, like these guys have said, they're playing for each other. They're playing as one. And I think that's the formula for success for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because you keep that hockey line fresh, you keep that D line moving. I mean, Hafley's going to keep giving them opportunities, and you have games like these where you might be able to turn them a little bit more loose and not have to worry about everything else that we've practiced. And did you hear Micah's interview? He said, J. Cole said, Micah said he needs Flacco. Now that's just elder abuse. Micah pretty much was like, yeah, I haven't had him yet. I'm like a hunter. I want him. I need to go get him. I need him. He needs to be mine. Like, I was like, oh my.
That was great because they were asking him about Dallas already, and he's like, hold on.
Yeah.
We got a game on Sunday here. We're not sleeping on Sunday's game.
Yeah, and you're telling me I haven't even had this man yet? Like, he is going. That's another. I'm gonna hang that one on the wall right next to when he goes to be able to go after Dak. He's got two empty spots right now, Flacco and Dak. He's like, I need to get me 1 and 2.
That's
I'm
awesome.
sure Flacco's bringing an extra pair of underwear to the game on Sunday for sure.
We got them depends on already, man. He's of that age. All right, let's talk about Devontae Wyatt for a minute. Week 1 recorded a sack against the Lions. Week 2 was ranked 5th among all defenders in total pressures through the first 2 weeks. That's what you're talking about there. Now, when you look at the entire defensive line and linebacking core in terms – well, it's actually the entire defense. I just sorted it by sacks. Here are the guys that are hitting home for the sacks so far. Rashawn Gary leads the team with 2.5 sacks. And again, I'm going to keep saying this because there's other podcasters and radio show hosts that just conveniently leave. The ones who dogged Gary all year last year, conveniently leaving out. They love saying, well, this is the Micah Parsons effect. 2 of Gary's 2.5 sacks came with Micah Parsons on the sideline. Shut your mouth. Okay. You don't know what you're talking about. You're bending the truth to try to make it fit your narrative because you're now looking like a moron from what you said all season. Anyway, Devontae Wyatt, second on the team with 2 sacks, guys. That is huge. He's averaging a sack a game is essentially what it's coming down to, right? He's not going to keep this pace. But let's say he averages a sack, 10, 11 games out of the season. If he finishes this year somewhere between 10 to 13 sacks as a defensive tackle, dude, that you're talking about top 3, top 5 at the defensive tackle position in the entire league, man.
How much money is he getting paid, Clay, at the end of this year if he hits double digits?
Oh, bro, pay that man. Pay that man his money, Tim.
Because it's coming. He breaks double digits. It's coming.
Yes.
Pay that man his money.
Yeah, he's going to be, and it's another one. Again, you're willing to overpay for great. You're not willing to overpay for good. You overpaid for Micah. You'll overpay for Devontae. Now he's got to finish it out, right? We may look up and he just finished the season with 2 sacks. That's possible. Yeah. But boy, oh boy, does he look strong right now, man. And I love what they showed on tape the other day, too, when they took Devontae Wyatt off the field, and it was Carl Brooks and Kobe Wooden. What did they decide to do? All right, since our main pass rusher, our one-on-one specialist there in the 3-tech Devontae Wyatt is getting a breather right now, let's run a slant with these backups, right? And by running a slant, you run a game there and force a little bit of extra simulated pressure, if you will. That I love how they utilize that. And then when you get back in the game, now let's don't go back to a slant. Let's let him work one-on-one out of the 3-tech. Let's just get right back to business. So love that they did that. Micah Parsons, 1.5 sacks, right? You got Lucas Van Ness with a half sack, Carl Brooks with a half sack, Edgerrin Cooper with a half sack. It's not showing Barron Sorrell on this list for whatever reason. I probably had qualified check. That's why. So that's my mistake there. So we know Barron Sorrell has a half sack as well. But it's really cool.
Snaps of football.
Yes. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I think we're going to look up in 2 years and Barron Sorrell is going to be a guy that's in this heavy rotation. Yep. I love Rashawn Gary. You guys know I'm a big Gary fan. I think he's been very unselfish working back from the ACL early. I think he came into the league and learned how to play 34 outside linebacker from playing defensive tackle at Michigan. And he's done everything they've asked him to do. Yep. But the NFL, man, it's a tough league and it's all business. I would be surprised if Rashawn Gary's on this roster in 3 years. Not because I don't want him on the roster, but it's just when you model out the roster, Micah Parsons will be here, right? Lucas Van Ness has got a good shot at being here. But if you decide to move away from Rashawn Gary, I wouldn't be surprised in 2 years if Barron Sorrell is a starting edge rusher opposite, right? Or at least on the same level as an LVN. Or maybe LVN doesn't get an extension because he falls flat this year, and you keep Gary, and it's Gary and Barron Sorrell rotating in with Micah. That could be a possibility too. You can't keep everybody. And I do think of every name I just mentioned, there's no shade thrown at them. They're going to get paid somewhere, because they've got the measurables, they got the athletic ability. In most cases, they got the production. But Barron Sorrell, I think, is going to be an up-and-coming superstar on this team, man. He just looks the part. You can't – it's really, really hard to teach good hand play, good hand fighting when you're rushing the passer. Some guys pick it up a lot quicker than others, and he just had it coming right out of college. So I'm excited to see what he does. In terms of quarterback pressure percentage, you guys know sacks aren't everything, right? Pressure percentage, according to NFL Pro, Micah Parsons, 18.6%. So absolute dog here, right? Second would be Rashawn Gary at a 12.5%. And, of course, that's throwing Edgerrin Cooper out, stack backer. It's going to be way inflated. He's at a 42.9%, which is wild. Quay Walker at a 25% as well. Like we said, stack backer is always going to be inflated there. So Lucas Van Ness is a little bit worrisome, the 6.7%. But also remember what Micah said. Like he keeps talking LVN up because LVN's working that bull rush, working the run game, kicked inside on the stunts. He's the guy clearing the path for those guys to be able to loop and scrape on these blitzes.
Unselfish, yes. Willing to put his body on the line to better the others. Appreciate that.
Absolutely, man. So, So that's how your sacks and pressures look here in terms of the Packers defense. I was just trying to take a quick glance if there's anything else. I think we pretty much covered it there. So let's move along to safety play and what DB in general. Evan Williams, week 1, had that red zone interception against the Lions, stopping a potential scoring drive, guys. That was huge. If I remember correctly, that won you, or at least it preserved you from losing the middle 8, and you won the turnover differential. So essentially, they would have at least gotten a field goal if he hadn't picked that pass off. So if he doesn't pick that pass off, you lose the middle 8 and you don't win the turnover differential. That game's probably a little bit closer coming down the stretch against the Lions. So that was a huge interception for Evan Williams. Keyshawn Nixon been a really, really big bright point for the Packers so far. Overall, he was ranked 4th among all players in coverage grade through the first 2 weeks of the season, according to PFF. If you'll remember, that's coverage grade. He was the number 1 cornerback in the entire league in overall defensive grade. So Keyshawn Nixon, Evan Williams off to a nice, strong start here. What y'all think?
Talk about a guy on his way to an all-pro season, Keyshawn Nixon. All you haters in the back, stay there. Keep your mouth shut. Because I'm telling you right now, Keyshawn caught a lot of heat these past couple seasons from the fan base. And, he's talking the talk and walking the walk so far. So I think he's off to a hell of a start. And, it makes you feel really good about this secondary, seeing him step up this way. I remember for a while we didn't know, is he our return guy? Is he our slot guy? Can he play on the boundary? All these questions have been answered. The answer is yes to all of them. He can do all of that, but clearly looks really good out there on the boundary and just playing real fundamentally sound football right now. It's great to see.
Exactly, Tim. And listening to him in his interview, he was even saying, when I was with the Raiders, that kind of didn't even feel like my career starting. He goes, I know I've been in the league for 7 years, but I feel like my rookie season was my first year here. I feel like I've actually become the football player I was supposed to be as I've been here and grown and everything like that, which I love. He's got that young attitude, mentality, whatever. My career is being a Green Bay Packer, and he's showing it, right? He wants to be remembered as a great one. Hey, you keep playing like this, Key. We're never going to forget it. I know we didn't love the Giants 2-way go game with Tommy DeVito, but hey, we learned from it. He got better. We're at 5 pass breakups already in 2 games. That's a player right there. And again, if anyone has not gone and listened to that Evan Williams and Richard Sherman pod, just go listen to him break down that play, because it was pretty cool just listening to how Half lets them be and how they can get to their spots and their their points and everything on the field.
Yep. Definitely. And what's really cool too, when you look at Keyshawn here, obviously he's got the pass breakups, and that's a huge statistic there. His passer rating when targeted is a 73.8. That's fifth best on the team. Really, it's I would say it's second best because you would remove Devontae Wyatt, Micah Parsons, and Carl Brooks from this list. So it's Xavier McKinney in first place at a 60.4, and then Keyshawn Nixon at 73.8. Guys, he's been targeted 10 times, only gave up 5 catches and no touchdowns so far. And you guys know last year that was kind of the big eyesore with Keyshawn's game was he gave up, 5 touchdowns, I think. So
it's not on those completions too. You notice the tackles made immediately. Like I didn't see a lot of yak after the completion. Huge. Yeah, he's all over these guys, man.
Yeah. Biz 1987 says X been quiet because nobody wants to challenge him. Absolutely. And again, look at the passer rating when targeted, right, Biz? Right. For Xavier McKinney leading the team 60.4 passer rating when targeted. So you see that statistic, you turn on the tape, he's only allowed 16 yards receiving. And then you look at the PFF grade in the 50s and you go, what the hell are they looking at? The tape disagrees with you. The statistics disagree with you. Can we get an explanation? Crickets. All right. Well, we're just going to have to, once again, PFF, we're going to have to lower the credibility level with you just a touch because we don't have, you understand what I'm saying, Emilio? It's like, what are we looking at here?
Looking at numbers on a stat sheet. That's it. That's all I can give you. That and some colors. I'm glad, but it's it. And Keyshawn's playing well. All that matters is what happens on the field. And at the end of the day, everybody in that locker room just cares what the score is on the scoreboard when the clock hits 0. So that's really all that matters. They're worried about one game at a time, one play at a time. Anything you can do to make this team get a W and move on. You love that because they were asking Micah about Rashid saying that we could go undefeated and stuff like that. He goes, yeah, I don't. Maybe you don't say that out publicly, but I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that, right? You got to have that kind of mentality that we can do this, we can be the best, but you have to chase that.
Yeah. Yep. And when you look at Carrington Valentine, guys, off to a strong start, man. This dude, again, at some point, people are going to have to acknowledge he's a damn dog. 76.6 passer rating when targeted. He has given up a touchdown, which he didn't give up one all year last year. Actually had 2 red zone interceptions last year, right? But he's only allowed 20 yards. He's been targeted 9 times, only 2 catches for Carrington Valentine. You love to see it. Edgerrin Cooper, a 90.3 passer rating when targeted. So he has given up 1 reception for 2 yards, it looks like on here. And obviously he's a dog. We'll talk about stops here in a second. Javon Bullard, he has been targeted 16 times and given up 14 catches, allowed 93 yards. That doesn't look good. Now we talked about coming into the season with Bullard, coverage is not his strength. But you want to know why we're second in run defense? Bullard plays a big role in that. So there is some give and take there, right? I hope we see his coverage get a little bit better as the year goes on. But I'm still somewhat happy with what Bullard's done. He's got 8 stops this year, guys, and got 1 hustle stop where he covered 20 yards of ground to make the stop, which is obviously he made the tackle on a play that resulted in negative EPA.
Telling you, he's a linebacker in the DB's body, man. I'm convinced of it. An absolute tackling machine. He's a menace. If Bull gets his mitts on you, you're going down. I mean, I'd love to see the missed tackle rate. I don't think he's missed a tackle yet this year. You'd really like to see the coverage skills improve, and I think maybe they will with time and experience in that role in this defense. Since he's kind of solidified that slot role. Maybe that'll come with time, but he's an absolute menace in those run fits, man.
Yeah, and he's been 16 to 14 for targets and receptions. Not terrible. Yeah, it happens. You giving up 100 yards, okay, but dude has 10 tackles and he's got 8 stops. So he's third on the team. It looks like in stops. Right. You need that guy. He's out there a lot in our nickel package. He needs to be able to play the run. He needs to be able to come up and tackle the flat, get across or whatever it is. And he's willing and able to do that without a problem.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about stops for a second, right? So sorting stop stats for the team here. And again, guys, a stop is when a player makes a tackle on a play that results in what they consider a negative offensive play. Okay, so you were the reason for stopping this play. It could be a screen pass. That could count as a stop if you're the one who stops the play, right? It could be a sack. It could be a, whatever, right? Edgerrin Cooper, 15 stops, and the big stat, 8 hustle stops. Last I heard, he's leading the league in hustle stops. Guys, that means that in any direction, okay, it's not just vertical yardage. It could be horizontal yard, diagonal yardage. He covered 20 yards of space to make the stop. That's what a hustle stop is. He's a damn animal, dude. 8 of those is just unbelievable. He's also got a quarterback pressure percentage of 42.9%. Passer rating when targeted isn't horrible there to 90.3. It could be better, don't get me wrong. But he has allowed 68 yards. But when you're all over the joint, things like that are going to happen as well. Put him in a position to do what he does well, the playing time too, 99.2%. That extra weight has kept him on the field, I think. He's a lot more solid this year and a little more durable in that regard. I know people were a little concerned with putting on that 20 pounds of muscle or whatever it was in the offseason. Is he going to be slower? He looks faster to me, dude.
I was going to say, if anything, he looks like he's sped up a little bit, right?
Yeah, definitely. And Rashawn Gary picking up right where he left off last year. He leads all defensive linemen with 9 stops and 1 hustle stop. So he covered 20 yards on that play. We need to pull that one day and see that exact play. It might have been a screen pass or something where he is just hustling his ass off and makes the play. So he's leading amongst defensive linemen. He's leading the team in sacks. He's second in quarterback pressure percentage, and he's leading the team in stops as well. So Gary is on pace, guys, as it sits right now, not just Pro Bowl. He may have an all-pro year if he keeps this up, Amelia.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like second in the team in playing time percentage, right? So you don't think about it. Devontae Wyatt's getting a lot of reps, but Rashawn's right out there with him, and that's where you're kind of getting the rotation of the big three. But yeah, he's playing 80, 90 snaps, 19 stops there. I mean, what else more can you ask from Rashawn besides him just coming out and eating? If he gets up to 4 or 5 sacks before the bye, the haters are going to have a little bit less to say, a little bit less to build off of for sure with Rashawn.
He was the best guy around.
When you look at Quay Walker here, in the run game, that's been his strength, right? He's got 8 stops, 3 hustle stops. Where he's struggling is in the passing game. He's dead last on the team at 140.3 passer rating when targeted. So hopefully we can amp that up a little bit. We talked about Javon Bullard, 8 stops. Our boy LVN, 6 stops, right? And then you've got Keyshawn Nixon with 4 stops, Evan Williams with 4 stops, Micah Parsons with 3 stops, and one of those being a hustle stop as well. So you are seeing, again, it's not to say Micah Parsons is bad at run defense, but it's definitely not his strength, right? He's a pass rushing maniac. He's going to get pressure on the quarterback at just a crazy clip. But thank God they did not trade away Rashawn Gary, because I do think this run defense would have took a slight step back if he went out there with just Micah Parsons and LVN as opposed to all 3 of them, and specifically Rashawn Gary helping in the run game. So also here, Tim, Devontae Wyatt, man, he's got 3 stops so far while leading the interior rushers with 2 sacks there as well. Quarterback
we talked about him, right? Just real quick on that Micah Parsons deal. We had questions, when Kenny Clark was attached to that deal. What I think it cleared up how we knew the Packers felt about Devontae Wyatt and Carl Brooks in the middle of that D line, and so far, so good, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, man. Completely agree. So there you go. There's a quick look at your defensive progress report. Again, guys, there's other players we could talk about, their struggles and good things. These are the ones that just kind of stood out to me, just combing through, looking at the data and trying to figure out, all right, which players are making this defense go. And right now, man, to be completely frank with you, I mean, it's Micah Parsons, yes, with the quarterback pressure percentage. The most valuable player on this defense right now, in my opinion, is Edgerrin Cooper, and second is Rashawn Gary. When you look at Micah Parsons, even though he's off to a fast start, when you look at him being the third most productive player on the defense, you got a pretty damn good defense. You know what I mean? In terms of just, what they all do individually with their respective positions. So, yeah. Edgerrin Cooper's a dog, man.
We got potential all pros all over this defense, all levels, really.
Absolutely, man. All right. Anything else on defense, boys? We good?
I'm good.
All All right, good deal, man. Again, you guys check that over on our Patreon community. If you want to support what we do here at PTA, just go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. $3 get you access to everything on the site there. Also get you entered into the giveaways. In the post-game show this week, we're going to be giving away an autographed Matthew Golden rookie card. If you're not familiar with Patreon, you want to support the show anyway, best way to do so, just click the join tab right below the video here on YouTube. That'll get that done as well. The only other thing I wanted to point out was and we'll go ahead and wrap up, is just a real quick look. The line has not changed. Okay, you guys know we keep our eye to the gambling streets here just a touch, not to give gambling advice, but just to kind of see, all right, who's the favorite, who isn't. That line has stayed the same, okay, at 7.5 points according to the market here on PFF. Now, I want to point out, when we talked about the spread before, money shifted a little bit, right? Actually, they pulled the data there. I was going to hit on it, but looks like they pulled the data. They're probably tallying it back up. It felt like it went a little bit closer to 50-50 there, which makes me feel way better. Because sometimes when the public is too much on a specific team, they were really, really heavy on the Browns with the spread. They were really, really heavy on the Packers at the -7.5. That makes you a little bit concerned, right? It seemed like it evened out when I was looking earlier today. So just keep that in mind. I'm feeling better about the Packers' chances here. But again, man, it's always going to come down to you got to get out there and protect the football, right? You got to win the turnover difference. You got to control the middle eight. Let them make the mistakes. Jump out to an early lead. And like you said, let Micah Parsons go out there and hunt our boy Joe Flacco down. So let's see. We got a super chat here from our boy Bates. Thank you so much, buddy. We appreciate you. This is happy 30th birthday, Clayton. Okay, hey, thank you so much.
Bates, you're the man.
What a guy.
Somebody was asking in the chat earlier. I'm 40. I guess I'm 43 now. I keep saying 42, but I'm 43 now. So,
oh man, that means I'm going to be 44 soon, Clayton.
Yeah, too old for this. Says, wait, I'm older than Clay. What's that supposed to mean? There, too old for this. Nah, but Bates, thank you so much, man. You always been too kind.
And Emilio's turning 21 before we know it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Too over this says, oh, never mind. Yeah. Wish you just kept that mouth shut, right? I appreciate y'all. Y'all are awesome, man. That's it, guys. We're going to get out of here. We may do a show tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. We may go out. We were thinking about going out for, celebrate tonight, but we may do it tomorrow. Might go up to the casino tomorrow. I haven't been to the casino in Bristol. I want to see the sports book. I want to just go in there and watch people ruin their marriages betting money they ain't got. You know what I mean? Just sit back and sip a drink, not put any action on it. Just, eat a couple wings and watch people gamble their life away.
Yeah.
So, and, of course, Mandy'd be hitting the slots if we did that. So.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Larry Cano says, thanks, guys. Go, Pat, go. Go have some more ice cream cake, Clayton. I will, man. I will.
Nice.
I'll be miserable tomorrow. I promise you that. So.
Worth it.
Yeah. All right. Billy Tim, anything else, boys? Anything at all?
Go Pack, go. Belt to ass on Sunday, baby.
All right.
Go back, go. Have a great day, Clay. Let's get it.
Man. And I think it'll be fun, too, when we're doing the post-game show where it's a 1 o'clock kickoff, 12 Central kickoff. As we wrap up the post-game show, we'll kind of walk everybody around the league, who won, who lost early in the early windows, give you an updated score on the 4 o'clock games, and then, of course, get the stage set. Because if I remember correctly,
Bears Cowboys at 4, right?
That's what I wanted to look at here real quick. Let's see what we're looking for. Yes, so we'll be able to watch the Packers game, right? During the post-game show, we'll be giving y'all live updates on the Bears-Cowboys game that kicks off at 4:25 Eastern there, and that is at Soldier Field, right? Yeah, so that's at Soldier Field. That'll be a lot of fun. And then, of course, the lines, if I remember correctly, will be Monday Night Football. When do the Vikings play? Are they the 1 o'clock window? They are. Yep. So that'll be awesome, man. We'll be able to, as the Packers game wraps up, hopefully we can get a dub, right? And then we'll see how the Bengals-Vikings game ends up, which is kind of cool because the Packers have got the Bengals coming up here in Week 6. So if the Vikings somehow lose that game to the Bengals without Joe Burrow, boy, oh boy, they and they are sitting their starting quarterback too, in J.J. McCarthy, right? That I'm telling you guys, I said that when that whole thing unfolded, and then after the show, I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't have said that. I don't have any proof of that. I felt like J.J. McCarthy wasn't significantly injured. I felt like that was their excuse to go, okay, yeah, we're going to sit him out for a couple of weeks. His ankle is bothering him because, man.
So they're starting Carson Wentz? Is that
that's what I'm hearing.
Battle the backups.
Wow. Must-see TV right there, baby.
Absolutely. So, it's going to be a fun weekend of games for sure, guys. But again, thanks to everybody in the chat. Really appreciate y'all. Again, Bates, thank you for that super chat. Angel Flores, we'll wrap it up with this. Says, great job, guys. Just want to say I've been a Packers fan since 95, and this year feels very different. We're going deep this year, barring any crazy injuries. Amen, amen, amen. And it's cool, too, because I've seen a lot of people, Angel, they've said this team feels a lot like the 96 Packers, you know. Sometimes you try to compare and contrast with past teams. I can see that comparison. I really can, man. Because I feel like Jordan Love plays more like Brett Favre than Aaron Rodgers, and stylistically, simply saying. And then when you look at, obviously, the addition of Micah Parsons, I don't think he's on Reggie White's level. That's my personal opinion. But it's the same position. You add a key piece there, right? The defense is – Tim, you remember that defense in 96. I think it was the best in the league, if I remember correctly.
It was. And one of the top offenses in the league, too. And I think that's where Angel's coming from here. We're starting to build that right about now. It's starting to come together. So enjoy the ride, Packers fans. This is the window is open, right, Clay?
Absolutely wide open, man. I think we got a 3-year window that's wide open. It may be longer, but we got us a 3-year window to get this thing done. I'm excited about it. So we'll be here every step of the way. Win, lose, or draw. We'll be covering the Packers every week, man. Appreciate everybody in the chat. If y'all would, hit subscribe, hit like. Make sure you click that bell icon so you're notified when we do go live. We greatly appreciate all the support. Channel is just going nuts. We're averaging almost 400,000 views a month now. It's cranking, and it has way more to do with the people in the chat and everyone that's a part of this community than it does these 3 knuckleheads on the screen. I promise you that. So everybody have a great night. Thank you for the birthday wishes. We will possibly see you tomorrow, but we'll definitely be seeing you all day on Sunday. Pre-game show, post-game show. Hell, we might go live after that too. Who knows? But, we appreciate you. Everybody have a great night. God bless.
There we go.
Bye, guys.